So I didn't plan on making this video today, and it's gonna be a short-ish one, but it's a crying corner, and I haven't done a crying corner in a while, but today I felt called to do it, and for that reason alone, I'm gonna do it. So if you're new here, Crying Corner with Caven is just me whining about life, and I'm Caven. So for backstory, I'm not gonna edit this because I don't usually like to edit my crying corners. Sometimes I do, but I don't usually like to because I prefer them to be kind of raw and real, and whether I'm crying or whatever. And I won't cry, don't worry, it's not that kind of crying corner today. But I did want to just share how I'm feeling, and also just kind of overall messages that I want to say to myself, my past self, to my future self, but also to whoever ends up watching this. And for context, this time last year, in fact the day that this comes out, precisely that time last year, I was cheated on, essentially. It's a long story, and that to this day, like that, it being the week that happened last year is triggering, but not for the reasons you probably think it is. It has nothing really to do with my ex. It's a lot more to do with me and how I'm triggered and upset that I let myself be treated in a certain way and stayed for so long, which, you know, is a whole other conversation because it's normal that happens. But I think I just today especially, like, I've been emotional, but it's not because I'm sad, it's just because I wish I would have learned, and I wish I knew better, and I wish I just didn't have to go through all of that to get where I am, which is in such a good place. I'm so happy. I'm in a better relationship and with someone who genuinely gives a fuck about me, and that's strange but beautiful and new, and I love it, and it's great. And I also have new people in my life, and funnily enough, don't mind my pot noodle, but funnily enough, a lot of those people came from my dating experience prior to when I met my boyfriend, and that is funny as fuck. But they're my friends now, and I'm precisely thinking about one person. There is another person as well, but precisely there's one person that I'm really speaking about. But there's loads of people in my life in general that I knew since I walked away from that relationship that truly love me and care about me and treat me that way. And it got me thinking, like, whilst I was on my way home today, and I was just like, there's this phrase that kept ringing in my head of like, people, you don't owe anyone anything. That's such a bullshit phrase. It's such a bullshit phrase, and I fucking hate that phrase because it's not true. You do owe people you love respect, and you do owe the people you care about to show them that care. We do. You do. You just do. And if someone I dated for a month, just dated for a month, earlier this year before I met my boyfriend, can love the fuck out of me, die for me, wanna smash my ex's head with a fucking beer bottle, then there's no excuse for people who claim they love you, care about you, but don't show you and treat you like fucking shit, especially when that shit goes on for 3 years. But there's also, on my end, which is the bit that I'm upset about, is there's no excuse for me staying. At the same time, I thought, like, that was what you're meant to do when you love someone, but it's not, and I learned that the hard way, and that's fine. But I just think that I wanted to, I haven't been able to like compartmentalize my thoughts at all. It's just been such a hectic day. I just feel like today I've just been overwhelmed because I had so much stuff to do this morning, and then I went out, and then what I was going out for got cancelled as soon as I got there, and I was coming back and my earphones died, and I was feeling emotional, and I'm on my period for the first time in like 8 months. So it was like, oh, too much going on at once. And because of that, I've been like, just today, and because this is the week, and the only reason I know it's this week is because there's an event this week that happens every year. That's how I remember this. It's not because I'm keeping track. And ironically, I'm going to be at that event, and so is he. But anyway, it is what it is. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff that I learned from that time. Like, there's another person I dated earlier this year, again before my boyfriend, obviously, and he is still a friend of mine, different person. And there was a point where he did something that really upset me, and in the past I would have been like, oh, it's okay, like I would have excused it, this is that, and I didn't excuse it this time, and I put a firm boundary, and it was like, you and me are not dating anymore, we're friends. And I set that kind of boundary, and although that kind of upset him, it allowed for a better friendship, and also allowed me to, learn that I can set those boundaries. And that's relieving, and I don't think I would have been able to do that had I not left that toxic, emotionally abusive relationship. But I want to emphasize that it's not about my ex, it is about me and what I let myself go through and put myself through, and also in the process like hurt other people, like way like even my own friends. And now, a year on from that one situation, I have 10 times the people in my life, and every single person in my life, friends, boyfriend, everyone, love the fuck out of me in a way that I've not experienced before and dreamt of. And that's beautiful. I couldn't ask for more. Who could? I couldn't ask for more. But also there was another aspect of me that was like, do I speak about this? And I was trying to figure out why I was questioning if I do. And I think it's because there's this whole idea of like, oh, if you speak about something, you're hung up on it. And then it's like, no, I'm still mourning and grieving a part of myself that I'm no longer, that's not me anymore. And that's a good thing that it's not me anymore. I'm not a fucking pushover anymore. But that's still a part of me that I'm grieving. And it's not, like I said, again, it's not about my ex, it's just about me as an individual. And I thought it would be harder. Not to say it's been easy, but I thought it would be harder going into a new relationship with all that bullshit from an emotionally abusive relationship that lasted 3 years. But it's been okay because I have a partner who gets it and listens and understands and knows how to like deal with me. And I thought I would get more triggered, but I almost haven't at all. But I do notice that when I do, which is very rare, but when I do, there's just a frustrating feeling of like, again, that repeat feeling of like, oh, I wouldn't be getting triggered right now, feeling this type of way if I didn't allow myself to go through that kind of treatment. And to say that though, at the same time, it's not my fault that someone treated me that way. But also, looking back, I was a dumb bitch because, of course, that person was going to treat me that way. If you know, you know. But, yeah, it's just, and then it's led to it opened a complex pathway to relationships with men in general, like friendships, that I didn't even think were possible, because I was able to set boundaries. And you know, it's always been very separate. I have male best friends and the person I'm with, whoever that's been in the past, and now it's kind of like still that separation, but it's also like, well, we experience something together, and we love each other, and that's great, and we are amazing friends. And I have also set a boundary with you, and you're happy with that, and that's okay, and that's cool. And I think what I'm trying to say is that I've been taught through life naturally in the past 8-ish months max, that there are good men. Who would have thought? Not me, especially white men. But you know, there are good men, and I'm lucky enough that I'm with one, and that I'm friends with a bunch. And you know, I can go to my boyfriend and I can cry, and I can say, I'm triggered about this thing and it's upsetting me, and he won't be like, oh, you shouldn't be thinking about that, you know, just like, I don't get punished for my fucking feelings anymore. It's a relief. And then also to have friends that are male who expect nothing from me, and I can also tell them about how I'm feeling. And you know, your boyfriend's there as your like comforter, but those friends are kind of more there as like a stop being a stupid little bitch. You know? And that's that. Well, all my friends are like that. They always say that to me. But yeah, and then I think also another part of me has just been like, I've been working so much non-stop, and I haven't really sat down for fucking months really, and just chilled out and had any time to myself properly, which is like definitely partially again my fault. Like, I do like load myself up when it comes to work, but I think there's also just like a little bit of guilt in there with me. Like, I'm just like, I should be working, I should do this. And again, it's just me putting that pressure on myself. And then there's this whole aspect of it that's like, oh, you should be a girl boss. And a girl boss doesn't get sad. A girl boss doesn't stop work just because she's having a bad mental health day. And it's just like, yeah, I do, bitch. And what? What are you gonna fucking do? Fight me? Go on then. Do you know what I mean? It's just not that deep to need a day to yourself where you don't need to be fucking productive, where you can just sit in bed and play Sims because you're sad and mourning and grieving something. Like, I know like there's this whole like thing of like, for example, if someone dies and you're grieving them, you kind of throw yourself into work because it's all you know, or like you don't want it to stop your life, etc., for whatever reason. And it's like that to me right now. It's like I'm grieving this part of myself. I haven't sat down and allowed myself to fully grieve that, because the past, like since I left, which was like around January, February, I've been working so hard on building myself back up. And now that I've built myself back up and I've got that stable foundation where I'm working and I've reached so many goals that I wanted to achieve, and I'm so fucking proud of myself, and I'm experiencing beautiful, amazing things, and I have the best of friends and the best boyfriend and family, and you know, just like everything truly is so fulfilled. Now that I'm at that point, I'm like, okay, now I can kind of face the reality of what parts of myself I had to let go of to get here. And that's normal. And I don't know, I just think I felt heavy this morning, and I felt tense, and I could feel myself like furrowing my brows, because all I could think about was this time last year so and so did this to me. And you know, I don't even feel like I do a little I was gonna say I don't feel a particular hatred towards that person, but I do. I would just be lying if I said I didn't, but it's like one day I fucking hope you get hit by a truck, and the next day I'm like, I don't care what you're doing, I hope you're all right, kind of thing, you know. Just, and that's just part of the healing and the grief and the understanding of, you know, that person hurt the fuck out of you for so long, and that's fine. And I could just feel the tension, and I just needed to get it out of me and compartmentalize it. And also, one of my therapists also changed the number and forgot to send me the new one, so I'm like, fuck. I didn't have anyone to talk to, and I was like, because my boyfriend's at work, my best friend's at work, the guys that I just told you about, the guys sound like such a pick-me, they're at work, and it's just like, well, I need someone to talk to, so I whipped out my camera because I'm a Leo, innit? And I've wanted to make a video like this for a while, but not really about this, but more so just like the complexities of male ex-female friendships, etc. But I didn't feel like it was the right time, and then today I was just like, sit your ass down, it's time to talk. But anyways, I think like my takeaway from this, and what I would hope other people take away from it, is you're allowed to grieve things when you're ready, whether that takes you a year, a month, 5 years. And I'm not saying shove it down until it, you know, fucking kills you, but I'm saying, you know, sometimes it does naturally just take time because life gets in the way, and that's okay. And it's also a great thing to learn, if you haven't, how to set boundaries with men, how to have great friendships with men, how to have a good relationship with a man, and understanding what you do and don't deserve, and accepting that your past self accepted something that your future self or present self would no longer accept. And that's okay, because we grow and we're humans, and it's okay to hate someone one day and feel completely neutral, or even like, oh, I kind of hope you have a great life in a weird way, the next day if they hurt you, and that's also normal. And it's also so like normal to just want to sit down and lie down and just fucking play Sims and do no work. You're allowed those fucking days, and you know, no one's asking you to kill yourself working, so don't do it. Don't put that pressure on yourself, because I know that I do, and it's not worth it. My work, if anything, at that point, I like get names wrong, I'm fucking up my emails. It's just like, you need to just lie down in bed, have a pot noodle, and play some Sims, and let that sadness be felt. Let yourself grieve and feel the shit that you feel, because it's okay. It's not forever. It won't ever be forever. And whatever's meant to happen will happen. Whatever's meant to be will be. I truly believe that. And so far it's been fucking working out for me. So anyways, I feel better now. See, that's all I needed to do. I needed to get my camera out and talk to fucking air. And I'm all good. I'm healed. Anyways, I'm gonna go eat my pot noodle. Oh, Timothy in the background, have my rest of my coffee, which is actually kind of making me feel a bit lightheaded, and water, because my boyfriend keeps reminding me to drink water because I apparently don't drink enough water. And I'm gonna play fucking Sims. I'm not even gonna work. I'm just gonna play Sims, watch Shark Tank, watch Bob's Burgers, maybe watch a film or two, and that's my day done. Especially because the rest of my week is so fucking hectic. So I love you guys, and if my ex ever sees this, because he probably will, because I know what he's like, it won't be when it comes out because we'll both be at the event, but if he ever does, then I don't have anything to say. It's not like a fuck you, but it's also not like a, you know, it's just a neutral like, but also, you know, like 6 feet please. Like the COVID 6 feet distance, please, you know? Anyways, I don't know, I'm just chatting shit at this point. I'm going to go play Sims and call my boyfriend because he finishes work soon. And bug the fuck out of him and tell him to FaceTime me so that I can see his cat because I miss his cat because he's our fur baby. Love you guys. See you soon.